Why, hello there, everybody. It's Joycelina, and I'm here back on the Just Vanilla server. And I am in our nether tunnel, working on trying to do some fixing. So, when the let me start in. When the sea lanterns were put back in the tunnel, were put in, and the glass was put above them, unfortunately, there's a section where the andesite, the polished andesite, was not put in that section. So I've been just going through and digging out this row of stairs and then putting in the polished andesite so that when you're looking you can see it and not see netherrack, and then putting these back. So a little bit of tedious work, but you know, our nether tunnels are actually made by the players, so all the items are mined by players. Every block is placed by players in survival. The design was by Desert Wayfarer, who is a person on the server. And this is the design that Desert came up with. And so we have been building these periodically throughout the nether. So there's one in each direction, north, south, east, and west. This is the north tunnel. And there's my portal, tunnel to my portal right there. And just trying to wrap this up, there is something I wanted to do, and I have to do it pretty soon. Whoops, no. See, block placement. So this is just one of those tedious little jobs, and if you think we've been doing this for like 1,000 blocks in each direction at least, for the most part. I think most tunnels are probably around 700 or 800, I know. Then there's other details, like earlier I was doing this detail. That's like every 10 blocks. So there's 10 blocks in between, and then this little three block wide detail. So I got all the way to my base on this side, but I ran out of materials on this side. But before I get back to this tedium, there is something I wanted to do. Let's see who's on the server right now. Okay, just taking a look. Fortunately, one thing I'm excited about, and eventually we'll have to plan out what we're going to do for the nether tunnel and how we want that designed. I want to make sure that we're incorporating the blocks that we're using within our city, but it would be nice to get that all situated. And I think one of the things I want to do eventually is get like a stable on each end, just a small area where we can put our horse, so we can just ride our horse around the nether if we wanted to, and then ride back and have a place where it's stored. So that's probably where Joyride's going to stay. But for now, I think I mentioned in the last episode that Freelyaughts came and he fixed my AFK fishing farm. Actually, all I think he did was, like, he stood here. It was glorious. It was like, so I called upon the powers of Freelyaughts, and he came, and he stood here, and he grabbed the super rod. Grabbed, yeah. Probably a lot better than me. See, he's so much more talented. He grabbed the super rod. He placed the super rod right about there. He cast the super rod. And like immediately, see, apparently he can do it much better than me. And immediately a fish came. Well, so there was nothing wrong with my fish farm. There was something wrong with the user, and I was aiming at a place wrong. And so I had the wood trapdoor, because that's what I'd seen in the very first video I ever saw, just had a wood trapdoor. And so with the wood trapdoor, every time you're casting, it'll keep clicking. So even when you cast it properly, it'll just click, and then so I wasn't clicking in the right place. And so when I was doing this, it was actually working right, but I didn't know that. So anyway, my idea though is that Freelyaughts came and he knocked back all the evil spirits that were keeping us from being able to fish. And so I wanted to give him a thank you for his amazing work of casting out evil fish scaring demons, with giving him a little something. Where is it? Do I have it here, or is it down in the depths? I think it's down in the depths. Oh no. Anyway, I will go get that. I'm going to give him a knockback book. Now, if you know anything about Freelyaughts, kindred spirit, he thinks knockback is like the worst enchantment ever. It's like you get a knockback book and you might as well just toss it. because I don't know, maybe knocking back creepers, but like, are you going to carry separate swords so that like, oh, if I run into a creeper, I'll use this sword? No. You know, you probably have room on your bar for one sword. In fact, speaking of which, you'll notice Spider Annihilator is on my bar because I was out killing spiders down here. Well, I went to go get me some food. Forgot that I had Spider Annihilator on there with a sweeping edge. Yeah, I killed all but like 4 of my cows because I'm supposed to have my fire aspect, so it cooks the meat automatically. And I get done killing, and it's like I only swiped like 4 times, and all my cows were gone, and I only had like 6 steaks still left in my inventory. I'm like, what in the world? Yeah, well, I swept them all away, and the food was uncooked, so I had to go cook it. Where is that book? I don't think it's here. I don't remember where I put it. What a tragedy. Okay, I'm trying to think. Think. Oh, you know where it is? Oh, I forgot. I completely even forgot I had all the storage down in the basement of the fish market. Let's go. Jeez Louise. I know. I'll cut back to you once we find Freelyaughts tunnel. I had to do some investigating. Basically, on his videos, he uses whatever it's called. I can't think off of the top of my head because I've never used anything like it. The mod that lets you have like your map and waypoints and stuff up in the corner. Yeah, whatever that is. He uses that, so that's how I figured out what his coordinates were. Then I had to do math. Thanks. To be able to figure out where his coordinates in the nether would be. So where his nether portal is. So I need to go find his nether portal. I wrote it down somewhere and I don't want to go look at what I've written down. Yeah, he's still back here. I'm trying to figure out how I can take these down without the zombies just climbing over and killing him. Not that he's worth the effort. Not that you're worth the effort. Okay, so let's get our knockback book. And then, yeah, I've got plenty of books now. There it is. Where'd it go? There it is, knockback 2. Let's give him something nice too, but we'll bury it so he won't see it right away. Shh, don't tell him. So yeah, I'm gonna get all that stuff gathered. I need to get, where's the door? Stupid zombies must have broken the door down. Okay, well, I'm gonna fix my door. I'm gonna make a few chests, and I'm gonna head over to Freelyaughts, and I will bring you back once I get there. See you then. Okay, so I am traveling to Freelyaughts. I could not find his actual portal. And so basically I went through one that was near, and it wound up needing to come through a jungle. And I'm looking to see if this place has been raided. So found myself in a jungle. Don't know if anyone's been here yet. We'll see. So I thought, oh, torch is here. So yes, somebody has been down here. They already got the goods. Did they take even... They didn't take the arrows. I'll take the arrows. So, yep, everything's gotten. Did they put it all back? I'm sure they put it all back. Check. The back room. Did I miss it? I don't know. Let's see. Yep, they got it all. Well, they were very tenacious about putting everything back. So let's see if we can get everything back. Anyway, I thought, well, we'll see. We'll investigate, see what we see. And I thought I'd bring you in on this. But yeah, it's been quite the ride trying to get safely where we need to be. How's that supposed to be? I think that goes there. Put that there. 1 dot. Yeah, that'll work. So, yeah, and of course I got here right as it's night. Oh, I have some stairs too. Fine, I'll put everything back the way I found it. Is it daytime? It's daytime. Yay! So we'll continue on. I'm not far, but I have to kind of travel with this screen up, which is really tedious to look at. So I will bring you back when we get to his place. And we're here. Oh, I cannot even tell you the journey I've had. Okay, so Joycelina doing the maths. I think I've mentioned before, I have a degree in applied mathematics. This should not be a problem, doing the math thing. By the way, Freelyaughts, more wolves. Killing the sheepies. So anyway, yeah, I was doing the maths as I normally do and doing it all wrong. So I don't know what I was thinking. I couldn't find this portal inside the nether tunnels, and it's at about like 239 and 600 and something. So in the 230s and the 600s, XZ. Not that complicated, right? X and Z. And one needs to be one number and one needs to be the other. And so I don't know if I got on the wrong tunnel and I was looking in the wrong area. So I didn't find anything. So I thought I would take the nether portal closest to that which I thought would get me to here. Oh, look. You have an armed guard watching over your villagers, Freelyaughts. So I said to myself, okay, I will go through, I think it's like Awesomeness portal, because that's got to be close by. And so I pop out at about 5,000 and negative 50. So I'm like, oh, I only have to go about 2,000 blocks one direction, and I'll get to the 55 or 500 another, and get about 55 and about 2,000. That should be somewhere around his base. Okay, the maths. If we go back, no. See, let me see. No. See the 1963, the 2000 needed to be in the X coordinates, and the 5500 needed to be in the Z coordinates. But I put the 5500 in the X coordinates and the 2000 in the Z coordinates. And guess what? That's not here. That's far, far away. About 3000 by 3000 to be exact. Well, close to exact. And so, this taken me like 3 or 4 in-game days to run here. You'll see my food's down. I'm down to about 14. I started at 26. So there was lots of running and jumping and dodging and things like that. So anyway, it has been quite the adventure. But we're here. This looks really cool. Which, if you've been watching his videos, you kind of knew what it looked like already. Villagers over there. Concrete. His looks way better than mine just stuck in a wall. That looks so cool on the map. That's the temple, ocean temple. His base is looking really cool along here. So, where shall we leave his little prize? Freelyaughts Island. Let's leave it right here. I wonder if this leads down to where his nether portal is. I hope we find it. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I can't wait to see where that actually comes out. So, we're going to do 2 things. I've got myself some signs and some chests. So, we're going to put the nice chest way down here. And he'll only see it if and when he watches the video. And this one, we will put the Silk Touch book. Oh, and the raw mutton and the white wool from your visitors, from the wolfies. So, well, the good thing that didn't work. Along with my trip is that I found a swamp that had a huge slime spawned in it. So I finally have some slime balls. Okay, so we'll put that there. Get out the chest. Chest there. Knockback book there. And a sign. Freelyaughts. If I can spell. Oops. We'll do the comma at the end. Comma. Thank you. Thank you for knocking back the evil anti-fish bad spirits that were plaguing my fishing market. Here is a token of my appreciation. Heart. Joy Selena. There we go. Now, let's go see where this nether tunnel actually ends up. Oh, that's the don't go this way? No. That's the oh, here we go. And in we go. Horsey, I bet you it must be this way. Let's see. Yeah, see, those were the coordinates I thought I needed to look for. Somebody else's. Okay, so anyway, I'm very excited to have finally found this. And now I'm going to get back to work on the tunnels, and I will see you in a bit. Well, welcome back, everybody. Through the magic of YouTube, it's been like 2 seconds for you, but it has actually been 10 days for me. So my apologies for taking so long since the last video. And ooh, look, bad guys. I just get to kill them. Yeah, so I had just had a really busy past week, I'd say, week and a half. And so after I got back from my adventures at Freelyaughts, which really, I mean, that wore me out, let me tell you. I only got on the server a couple of times. Okay, stop. I only got on the server a couple of times and just did some AFK fishing and trying to repair my tools and stuff for the most part. But one of the things I wanted to do, so if we're going to plan out our space here, one of the things I was looking into is what exactly is the size that we're allowed. So we basically can have up to like a 500 block area, or you try to keep 500 blocks from somebody else's base. So I kind of wanted to know, how big is that? So I figured, okay, 250 spaces in each direction. How far would 250 blocks take me? So with the string that we have available, thanks to our spider spawner, we have a plethora of string. I decided to come out and see exactly how far out the 25 blocks would take me. And it takes me a pretty long ways away. Whoops. Climbing mountains. So this, I mean, it keeps going. I certainly am not planning to build a city that is going to be occupying all of this space. But one of the things that, at some point we need to figure out where we actually want to end, because, wow, this is a long ways. That's just one direction. Imagine doing that way, doing that way, and doing that way. I mean, I bet you I'm not even going to get back home before it starts to turn dark again. So really trying to map out where would we want to put a wall, because I think this is too far away. Oh, but our portal looks cool, doesn't it? So realistically, so what I'm trying to think now is mapping out, well, that was a little bit of a lag between the actual fall and the damage. That was interesting. Is trying to map out, at least in my head, maybe I'll grab some more wool and we'll try to block out, or maybe some signs. Where do we want stuff? What exactly are we planning on making? And where would we want it to be? Because I think that's the next step, is kind of at least having not an overall, but a general idea of how we want to use this space. So maybe I'll do that once the sun comes back up, because I really don't want to be out here with a bunch of bad guys and no lights. But really kind of to try to determine what my radius is going to be, because I'm not going to want to be that far. I certainly am not going to want to be 250 blocks away. But at least, so in this vicinity right around the portal, what kind of buildings do I want? So I know I'm going to want a blacksmith. I know I'm going to want a bakery. I know I'm going to want an enchanting place. I'm gonna want a potions place. Maybe I'm gonna want a cattle farmer in a specific area. So like the cattle farmer will be separate from whoever does the like pumpkins and melons. And what I can do in each of those areas is, as we define that, on the top layer here is going to be something that looks like maybe like a medieval village, or just a very rudimentary type village where there's not all of the mechanics behind it. And I am no redstone queen. I mean, clearly it's up there with doing the maths. So I don't have a lot of like great contraptions that I can think of to build. I basically would be building other people's contraptions that they, in their geniusness, have developed and then allowed other people to learn by. So that's pretty much what's going to happen with me. But I kind of want to be able to say, okay, there's a great, Freelyaughts has a great way of farming the melons and the pumpkins. So, but I'm not going to want that out here where everyone can see it. So it's got to be stuff that can be farmed underground. So basically people's cellars in this mysterious land of joy, whatever we call this. Is it Joyville? Is it the land of joy? The city of joy. Is that what we called it? I think that might have been what we called it. The city of joy. So in the city of joy, it looks like a nice, peaceful, rudimentary, basic village. But deep in the caverns, underneath where no one can see, will be the science. And there'll be secret science places where you see the automation that really keeps the city afloat. So that's kind of my idea. I don't know. What do you think? Tell me what you think in the comments. But I think that's what we're going to go for. So I'll do some laying out, putting up some signs, maybe even a couple of buildings, just like a general idea. Here's where this building would be. And then we'll come back. Definitely I want this to be kind of more of my farm place. Oh, look. We have somebody visiting. Ooh, that's something else I need. I need an inn. So like when I have people as guests, they can come by and we can say, hello. And then we can whack them. I am finding using the annihilator instead of the flaming one, I don't get burned as much. So yeah, because in my brilliance, I was using this other one, my fire aspect, and then I would hit them, and then they would burn, and then they would hit me, and I would burn. And this is not a good way to defeat the enemy. Because, I mean, look at my armor. Yeah. Oh, by the way, so I got mending on that Aqua Affinity. That's my diving mask. And I finally got a mending book because I did come on the server a couple of times and just AFK fished. And so now my diving boots. So depth strider and mending. Anyway, so I thought I'd share that with you. So I will go out, try to do some of that, coming back. So that at least what we're going to be doing is putting a framework together of what we'll be doing in the end. And then after that, I think I'll come back. I'll show you what we're thinking. And then with that, then we'll wrap up the series. Not the series. Holy cow, we're not going to wrap up the series yet. We just started. We're getting great ideas. Anyway, so I will be back in a few, and we will share with you all that stuff. And then I'm going to call it a day or a night. It's always night here on the server, so maybe we'll call it a night. Talk to you soon. And welcome back. So I've done some work around here, and you'll see I've kind of put some white wool where I've looked at different buildings. So just to show you some of what we're looking at. So this farm is going to stay here, but most likely it's just going to be wheats and vegetables. So your, the wheat and the potatoes and carrots. I cannot think. Oh my goodness. So the melons and pumpkins, I think I want to have a separate farmhouse here. And like I mentioned, we would most likely do a some type of automated pumpkin farm down below, depending on what's required. We may have to hide, if it needs sunlight, we may have to hide a way of having it still have access to the sky, similar to what we've done over in our fish farm. So if you come over to our fish market, you would have no idea that you wouldn't have idea there's anything including the village idiot. But you don't know that behind here is the automated system. And of course it needs access to the light. So we hid that behind the chimney coming out. So I still want to keep this area like that. So we're looking at a pumpkin farm over there. So still trying to keep my farming in approximately the same area. Over here, back here, because there's always so many chickens along this hill, one of the things I thought was we might just fence a big portion of this in, and this would be a chicken farm. So free range chicken. And so over here, yeah, free range chicken farm. And this would be where a small house for that would be. And then underneath in the basement, I would have basically a chicken cooker that you've probably seen tons of automated ones. Can you believe it is almost nighttime? Oh my goodness. I don't know if you noticed, I mowed the lawn. I finally cut down a lot of the grass. It was driving me crazy. I got creeperized twice. You can tell by my levels, at least I didn't die. But again, some of my gear, man, it's taken a hit. So twice I got hit by creepers trying to get all this out. So, whoops. This is the button I'm trying to do. Run. Over here, kind of a cattle ranch. So we'll be able to take up a large portion of this, and we will move some of our cows over here. Because I accidentally culled the herd anyway. So we'll bring them over here, give them a lot more space to roam, and then have a nice type building. Now, I say cattle ranch just because that's kind of the familiar American term of what we would call it. But really, for the time period, supposedly, that this is in, it wouldn't necessarily be a ranch, but it would be some type of cattle farm made available. And so it'll probably extend on along here. What I might do is some terraforming, so this ends up being like a natural water hole, but I do want it to hold a significant area for the cattle over here. And then with the cattle being there, what would be a nearby business would be a leatherworks shop. Why, hello, zombie. A bling zombie. All dressed up with no place to go. Dressed to kill, are you? Yeah. Oh my goodness. Way to go. That was some really solid gear there. Solid metal gear. So a leather workshop here, and then nearby that, we would have a blacksmith shop. Now, this we probably would have more availability to put some type of big furnace contraption where you have the furnace visible, that you've got all these ferni, but not necessarily any redstone behind it. Again, it depends on what I find out on the interwebs, because you know I ain't creating that on my own. This area in the center here is going to be kind of a city square. So what I'm picturing is that we'll go ahead and pave this. Maybe in each of the corners we'll have like a little fountain type area, or some type of water, so that there's a cutout and there's water available, or a water feature in each corner. Definitely the symmetry. So I have it basically 15 from center each direction. So that'll be a nice city square. And so most people, when you come through my portal, I'm always facing this away. So this would be the direction coming out this way that I would want my city in. So if you came through, there's going to be a big enough building here to catch your attention, and that is going to be the city inn. So if people want to come by and it's nighttime, or they want shelter, or a place to stash stuff because they might want to come and visit more frequently, because I definitely want to make this a welcoming place, they can stash some stuff and maybe even claim a room in the city inn. This we're going to do kind of an outdoor laundry, so we'll do a little bit of terraforming, but this would be the place where in the community you would have some workers that their job is to clean the clothes and keep keep things fresh. So we'll have some cauldrons and we'll have the water here, and we'll see what we can do to kind of make this look like it's a place where items are being cleaned. And down here, I think I mentioned this when I very first saw it. I definitely want to do the city mining company. So I want to dress this up, but I don't want to lose the curve of it. So we'll still do probably a little bit of terraforming, more along the lines of decorating it so that you lead into a mine. And then once it goes deep enough, I think I'd like to have it be like a decorative type mine, not one that we would actually, when you go to my mine, it's all strip mine and kind of boring. So we'll definitely spruce that up, although I'm sure I will find some goodies along the way. Over here, we're going to have a bookshop because Lord knows I've got books. And it's a good place for me to kind of store and sort all the books so that eventually if I wanted to create an actual server bookshop in the server market area, this would be a good place for me to come in and sort those in a way that would be kind of meaningful. So I'd know, okay, what do I have? What do I want to take to restock? And things like that. Why, hello, sir. No, the store's not open yet, so you'll have to come back at a later time. And then what do I have over here? Here I have an alchemy shop. So for potions, and that is definitely, this is where we'll have, oh, you kind of scared me. Don't sneak up from behind. That is so rude. So this is where I'm going to have my alchemy table and be able to store all of my alchemy goods. And so then we'll have this just as a really nice alchemy kind of shop looking area here. Over here, a bakery, because of course we need the foods. And so, yeah, we'll put a bakery type area here. A city well here, which close to the bakery. That's not a bad idea, but just a nice decorative well here, different from the small water features. Again, these aren't going to be grand water features, I don't think. I don't know if I have enough room here for a grand water feature. Probably only come out to about here, so not too huge. Up on the hillside, I thought I could have like an enchanting, not enchanting, because that's enchanting. No. Did I say enchanting already? No, this is going to be the enchanting tower. So at the top of this, so we'll put some type of more ominous tower looking thing that at the top of it will be where I'll have my enchanting table and the books and all of that. And then I haven't gone and put a sign yet, but I think over in this direction is where the horses are. And so I'm going to want a whole area where there's a horse stall, and we're going to need a mechanism by which we're testing the horses to see which ones are what quality. So the stable will definitely be fairly significant in size. Way back in season 1, Freelyaughts did, in Freelyaughts season 1, this is my season 1 now, but in his season 1, he did a way to be able to time to see how fast your horse is. So we're going to have to build something like that where it looks like a racetrack or maybe a jousting area or something, but it's really a mechanism by which we can test the horses to see how fast they are, and then different, like a wall jump, or so, almost like it's some type of obstacle course, but that's where we test to see how high the horses can jump, and then we can sort them by really how high they jump, how fast they go, and how many hearts. So I think Joyride over here has a lot of hearts, but man, she's slow and she cannot jump. So yeah, so she's useful for riding back and forth in the Nether, pretty much. But that's kind of what I'm thinking, and I'm not sure what I'm missing. Other than, probably doing like a bow shop. And well, there's a creeper over here right now. Maybe having a bow shop, and did I do an armor shop? I know I did a blacksmith and a leather works, but like the leather works is really where I'm going to more display my leather armor. So I probably need an armorer maybe I switch this, and this is an armorer because it's next to the blacksmith. So right, the blacksmith would do the work, and then the armorer would come along and create some armor. So we'll do that. Armory. If I could type. So the armory will be here. So maybe the blacksmith does the work, but a lot of the goods are stashed here. And then we'll definitely need a weapons shop. Where do we want to put a weapons shop? Probably this way, past the mines. Oh, see, I knew there would be the creeps. You're just standing there. Oh, look, I can't even shoot you. I'm such a bad shot. Ooh, take that. I don't burn. You burn, man. I don't burn. I can deal with the sun. Okay, actually, I do burn. I burn pretty fast when I get in the sun. So I really shouldn't say anything. Shouldn't be so critical. And we'll get you. Man, the creepers. Once. And whoops. Oh, overshot that one. And twice. There we go. And then there's one over there by the sheepies, huh? Yeah, that was way off. What was I thinking? Sorry, sheep. Casualty of war. There we go. Yeah, so if I'm missing, what do you think I'm missing? You tell me what I'm missing, and we'll see where we might want to put it. Kind of have a place. So what was over here? So this is the bookshop, right? Yeah, so probably over here somewhere. Because the mine, I don't know what I'm going to do around the mine so you don't like fall in. Whoa! But I don't think I'll make it too high. So hopefully we'll still be able to see the weapons shop. Okay, so I think I've got everything. Oh, especially, I mean, we may end up parsing this out to two different things where we have, well, thank you, Microsoft account problem. I don't know if that will show up on your screen, but it showed up on mine with a very loud noise. Microsoft, I did not need your information right now. So we might split the weapon shops into two. Did I make you sick enough going back and forth? And have one for the swords and one for the bows. And then I do need probably another area for tools, tool shop. Ace Hardware. Yeah, so where you can get your tools. Maybe I should eat something. What do you think? So, I don't know. I think it spreads out the area nicely. And I really don't see my compound getting too huge. So, I mean, gosh, compared to the 250 blocks we traveled earlier, I don't see us going out more than 50 of it. Do you? I don't. I mean, as we do things, we might build up, we might push out, we might decide, oh, well, the roads are going to go here and we need more space. So we might do some of that. But I think for the most part, yeah, I think that this will be a good enough space. And once we get that really more defined and get some of our buildings in, eventually we will have to create a walled area. Oh, and I also thought maybe one day we'll build a castle way up there, overseeing my minions, and that will be my house, and that's where I'll have all my stash of stuff. So, but for now, I will live here in my nice little farmer's house and tend to the cows and the chickens and all the goods that are up here, and just be able to watch over my area. Well, see, tree, you are in the way. I can't get up here. I can't get up here. Here we go. There. So my vast territory. We'll see. I mean, I don't think we'll even fill in all of the chunk area that you can see. And I haven't really thought much about whether or not we'd push back any, but you know, you can see I put a pole way back over there saying, hey, that's my space. Don't come near me. But we'll see. I think having a plan really helps, and then we can decide point by point what are we going to work on, and that really gives us a better way of planning out things and preparing for the city that we're creating. And I'm really pretty excited about doing that with you on Joycelina Plays Just Vanilla server. And I will see you next time.